Darlings, it's Mummy, Sybil Brunson, and I'm coming to you with part two of my little tourette for my driveway garden. The first part was this morning, and this part is in the evening when the sun has gone behind the trees. But I want to show you. Look, look at these, look at these flowers. They're. Can you see the color is literally? It's not even as good on this camera as it is on in real life. The colors are what I describe as quivering with the leftover light from the sun. They're absolutely amazing. This coreopsis, look at it. The oranges, the marigolds over there, even the yellow of the marigolds tucked underneath, and the one that's wilting that needs to be deadheaded. Look at the Shasta daisies. Look at the white in those daisies. Amazing. Look at the white in these little lily of the valley. Amazing. And then up there, of course, is my Mandevilla, which reminds me so much of my dear friend who just passed away very suddenly this past weekend on Fire Island in his beloved Cherry Grove. Jeffrey Piccolomini was a great friend, a great, great, great friend to George and myself. And I will always think of Mandevillas as being him. He introduced me to them, and I have grown them every year and love them. There's my New Guinea impatiens and a wilting coleus, which I feel very sad about. But my Boston, shame on me, my Japanese painted fern is triumphing. Everything mostly is going well. I put a cage around these peonies, and they decided to get even taller while I was gone in the grove. How tall are they going to be? 6 feet? Are they going to be taller than Mummy? It seems incredible. Anyway, and look, these miniature irises, or whatever these are, they are coming up. I hope they're not from another planet. Oh, can you imagine Mummy is taken over by some strange pod thing, and it was growing right in her front yard. Feed me, Seymour. Everything is sort of a little wilty. It got hot here, so I watered everything, and I've got to leave again. I'm going back out to the grove, so we'll see what happens in the time I'm gone. My garden, though, is a hodgepodge of heights. Okay, so yes, the sticklers out there are saying, well, Mummy, why did you plant short things under tall things, or why did you plant tall things in front of short things? I didn't. When I started this garden, the peonies were 1-inch shoots coming out of the ground. There were no irises. They weren't even blades of grass at that point. I had assumed that was hosta, where the lily of the valley is. So we inherited a garden, and Mummy decided to turn this into a wildflower garden, not even a British garden, like a wildflower garden. And we'll see what survives and what doesn't, and what needs to be moved in the fall. And yes, the annuals will be gone, but I'm going to try and keep deadheading them until they're robust and wonderful. And the perennials I will nurture and take good care of. And so we'll see what happens. Forget-me-nots are supposed to spread and be wonderful. So we'll see what happens. The verbenas will be gone. Those beautiful purple verbenas will be gone. But the coreopsis is supposed to be able to come back. The catmint should be back. The salvia should be back. The miniature, those dwarf Shasta daisies, are perennials, and they're hardy perennials. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, here's a columbine under the tree, which the blossoms have vanished. Can you see it? It's right there. Those strange little purple blossoms faded. But you know what? That's supposed to be a perennial. It should be back again next year. I will never, ever, ever abuse ranunculus again. I've never loved a flower more than those ranunculi, and they were wonderful, but the 30-degree temperatures and the howling winds decimated them completely, and they took a real beating. Anyway, when I get back, I'll be buying some more plants and putting them in, and trying to, make sense of this. My triumphs include, and I showed them to you earlier, the inherited irises over here, these pale lemon yellow ones. I inherited, and they are doing well, even though the soil is incredibly rocky and clay-like. I've watered all of them one more time before I leave, and then I'm going to deadhead them tonight before I leave. So all these dead, wilty, horrible blossoms will be gone, so the buds can be fed properly by the mother plant. And again, over here, same thing, same thing. And of course, this is my triumph, my wonderful triumph, because out of that forlorn pot over there, which was being used as garbage by the former tenants here, at the very bottom of it, halfway down, was this beautiful periwinkle, this myrtle, creeping myrtle, and I lifted it out in the fall, and I lifted out this spring and found Dannon yogurt and cups and, oh my God, styrofoam cups and trash and candy wrappers and everything. They'd been using it as garbage. And then someone had gone to a garden center and bought this periwinkle and dropped it in there, not even filling the pot with soil, left it there. And God knows how long it survived. But when I pulled it out to fill the pot with soil, I found like garbage, old garbage too, that was compressing. It could have been there for years. So I decided to bring it over here and put it under this meter, and I'm going to maybe trompe-l'oeil this meter and everything and make it look like bricks. Can you imagine? Mama used to paint sets and scenery, so I'm very good at trompe-l'oeil. I could actually make the pole and that meter maybe disappear into the wall and look like they're camouflaged into brick and mortar. And then by next year, this periwinkle will be crawling out and spreading. And with any luck, my Mandevilla, when I come back from Fire Island, I will plant the Mandevilla, which is right there. And I'm going to plant it right here and let it trail up this trellis. And this corner will be a beautiful green and purple and white tucked away flower bed of its own. And I think every year I will put a Mandevilla right here in honor of Jeffrey Piccolomini. And he'll be buried and surrounded by all this beautiful purple crepe myrtle, this periwinkle, which is so gorgeous. So I will always leave a pot in place there so I can do that. Remember, boys and girls, I gave you a hint earlier, a garden hint. Whenever you cut plants, whether you're deadheading or you're cutting blossoms for your house, or you're whatever you're doing, pruning or trimming or whatever, always make sure that you cut whatever you're using, your pruning shears, your garden snips, whatever, you use rubbing alcohol in a spritzer bottle. Sterilize the blades, give a couple of spritzes, and that way the blades will be sterile and you won't spread infections or viruses or bacteria from one plant to another. And it's a way to really keep your garden looking great and disease-free, or at least disease-reduced. Okay? That's my tour. Again, if any of you know what this is, right there, please wire me. Yes, Pachysandra, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. There's more of it. Here are broadleaf plants. I don't know what those are. Those could maybe flower. Here's something that never flowered. I don't know what that was. So if you know what these things are, let me know. I see some ivies growing in there. Oh boy, I hope that's not Virginia creeper. Well, we'll get that out. And then, of course, I'm going to wall off all this Pachysandra, cut it out from below the tree, and then wall it off so it doesn't spread any farther into the driveway garden. I don't want it marching up the marching up the driveway. When I get back in a few days, 4 or 5 days, we'll see what happened. These peonies might be just taller. They might not have opened. So we'll see what happens. I'm having the garden watered while I'm gone, with the temperatures climbing. And oh, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, my cute little chipmunk lives right under our porch. He's made a home under this cement porch, and that's where he emerges from. And it looks like he was digging in my garden. Either that or one of the squirrels. The squirrels are impossible here. Very nervy, much like the pigeons were back at Strauss Park. They sort of are pushy Republicans. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Look at this purple. Shimmering, right? The color is shimmering. It's absolutely quivering with color. I wish it was as good on my phone as it is in person. Let me take you here. And I wish you could smell these. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look, look, look. And look, look, look. There you go. There, my phone is capturing it beautifully. Look at the color. It's shaking with beauty. Remember, darlings, to be present, to be mindful, to be grateful, to be in the world and of the world. Everything you see and smell and touch and hear and hold in your hand and your heart, it's all borrowed. It's all only borrowed.